medieval Catalan nobleman from the time of Guillem Torroja, tutor of King Alphonse the Chaste around 1173. He is a dark character, a European knight who arrived in Catalan lands, offering to help against the attack of Nasser's army. After the victory, he preferred to stay in Spain. According to a legend collected by the writer Salvador Sáenz in his book Estruc, 1991, the Count died old and came back to life, converted into a demonized young man, a kind of vampire who sucked the blood of the people of that time, seduced the girls and got them pregnant. At 9 months these girls gave birth to little monsters, but died as soon as they were born. The legend takes place in the castle of Lurk, Altemporta, which was destroyed during the Spanish Civil War. Subscribe and like so we can create more content like this. Thank you. 2. Another similar case of vampirism in the same region and town, in the ruins of the Malvena Tower, which could be translated as bad neighbor, in the district of Pralada, on the road that leads from this town to the town of Garrigola. Legend has it that said Malvena Tower was inhabited by a lady who forced her subjects to bring her a child every day to suck its blood and eat it. This lasted for a while, until one day the residents of the two towns rebelled and killed her. 3. Another vampire story in Catalonia is the case of Aguirres. He was a man who lived in a megalith, and who was possessed by evil spirits by strange characters, who came from the Caspian Sea. It is said that he died in the 10th century in a battle, in which he suffered a possession attack that he unleashed on his enemies. Then in the 15th century a castle was built, where he had been buried, right in the megalith where he lived. During the works and after construction there were all kinds of misfortunes, such as diseases, plagues and strange deaths. The one who ruled the castle has also gone down in history with the name of Aguirres and dedicated himself to carrying out all kinds of outrages such as murdering children, and then drinking their blood, and eating their bodies. They said that he had been possessed by the spirit of the ancient Aguirres. All the inhabitants of the village said that he never grew old, and that he could tell the future. In 1427 there was an earthquake in the area, and everyone believed that Aguirres had died. But in 1483 the epidemics and disappearances appeared again. Aguirres disappeared from the face of the earth in the year 1483, when under the influence of Kings Isabel I of Castile and Ferdinand II of Aragon, Thomas de Torquemada was appointed Grand Inquisitor of Castile, Aragon, Catalonia and other Iberian territories. 4. Also in the Middle Ages, and again in Catalonia, is the story of Count Arnau de Malaplana. This count promised a measure of wheat to anyone who supplied him with a measure of stone for the construction of his castle. Once it was built, Arnau did not comply with what he said regarding his subjects. The population in revenge notified the local witches to cast spells on the count, and these were carried out. The count, not aware of these plots against him, was in love with an ass of the convent of Saint Joan de les Abadesses, whom, after having been rejected by said ass, he raped and kidnapped to take her to his new castle. It was Night of the Dead when some men went to talk with Arnau the next morning. They found the terrifying image of the count, and the ass torn to pieces by what some vampire dogs said. It was said that until the 19th century, every Night of the Dead, the count, the ass and the pack of dogs came out of the afterlife to suck the blood and tear apart anyone they encountered at night in those Catalan lands. 5. The Vampire of the Rambla de Garona. Under the turns or arches of the Rambla de Garona there are a sculpted stone corbel with a figure of a bat, which is the figure known as the Vampire of Garona. Curiously, his legend, however, is not at all gloomy, unless one tries to relate this vampire to the story of the Augolana shield narrated in the previous legend. Regarding the Vampire of Garona, tradition says that for a long time, the boys and girls of Garona went for walks on the city's Rambla to find a partner. It was said that if a boy or girl managed to get the person they liked under this mysterious figure, and also got the person they liked to give them something they asked for, they would end up together forever. It seems that the reason why some of these people fell in love was the influence of this vampire.